Did you know that we have channel memberships now? If you'd like to help support this channel, get some exclusive Kawabana emotes to use in the comments, as well as an exclusive badge by your name, click that join button now to find out more. Every bit of support really helps. Thanks, guys. She was in the car with her brother-in-law when they passed it. The strangely named Hotel Endless 2, a love hotel in Hiranai Town, Aomori Prefecture. Although it had long been abandoned, it was known as a ghost spot even before it closed down. There was a Kannon statue right across the road from the building because of all the traffic accidents that took place there, and it was commonly called the Devil's Curve. There was even a large sign in the area warning people of the danger. She recalled of one incident she read in a newspaper, where a car had an accident there because, according to the driver, they saw a face suddenly on the windscreen. It was even a hot topic on the radio for a while. When her brother-in-law passed by that hotel, suddenly the car started to drop speed. "What's wrong?" she asked, but all he would say was that he was sleepy. Both she and her husband tried to talk to him, but sensing danger, they made him stop the car. They looked for somewhere to pull over, but all he said was, "I just need to sleep a little." And then he passed out. When he later woke up and they asked him what happened, he said that as soon as they passed Hotel Endless 2, he was suddenly overcome by sleepiness and wasn't sure of what was going on anymore. He also claimed that it was like something was gripping the steering wheel and turning it to the right. Up until that point, he had shown no signs of exhaustion and was talking to his brother and sister-in-law without incident. As such, he was also shocked by his sudden bout of sleepiness. Considering that they drove past that area during the Obon season, maybe it had something to do with that. Hotel Endless 2, a love hotel in Hiranai Town, Aomori Prefecture, first opened its doors sometime between 1982 and 1986. It was a simple two-story building with a distinctive pale pink coat of paint on the outside. But unlike its name, it was not endless. Records of the Love Hotel could only be found in the 1993 phone directory, meaning it likely closed sometime shortly thereafter, and stories of it being long abandoned were already circulating the internet by the early 2000s. By the early 2010s, the remains of the building were in a bad way, with most of the windows broken, the paint peeling off, and the ceiling falling down. This only helped solidify rumours of the building being haunted, rumours that had long existed since it was already in operation, because of a dangerous bend on the highway nearby that saw numerous traffic accidents and deaths. That curve was so bad that it popularly became known as the Devil's Curve. Surprisingly, after several decades of being abandoned in Japan's cold, harsh northeast, the building still stands today, although it's in a bad way, and constant visitors and weather damage have ensured that it's only just barely holding on. If you dare trespass and go inside, your safety cannot be ensured. Not because of spirits, but because of the rotten, deteriorating building that is literally falling apart at the seams. The front of the building has been completely sealed with wooden boards, but the vehicle entrance to the right still remains accessible. Interestingly, there are few reports or even rumours of suicides or murders at Hotel Endless 2. The main reason it seems to be haunted is because of the Devil's Curve nearby. Perhaps the visible sight of the Kannon statue outside was enough for people to make a connection, and if people died on the road nearby, then surely their spirits wouldn't take long to find their way into the building, right? The large sign above the statue stating, "Site of numerous traffic accident deaths," no doubt helped with that. In recent years, there have been more and more rumours of the spirit of a woman haunting the second floor of the building, however. It's unknown how she got there, but some claim she was actually beaten to death on the second floor. By who, when, and why naturally remains unknown. Either way, rumours of her persist, and there are claims that her mere presence attracts other spirits to the building as well. Other rumours sprang up that the building still remains standing, despite its incredibly dangerous state, because whenever anyone tries to knock it down, workers find themselves mysteriously injured and unable to finish the job. Almost like the spirits don't want them to knock it down. Several attempts have reportedly been made, but nobody has been successful. There is zero evidence for these rumours, but these types of stories aren't rare when an old, dilapidated building remains for decades and, for whatever reason, isn't torn down. And as you might expect, it wasn't just Hotel Endless 2 that was known as a dangerous spot where you might find ghosts. The source of the problem, Devil's Curve, was also said to be haunted. It wasn't just a dangerous curve that claimed numerous lives. It was actively haunted by ghosts that made the natural terrain even worse. People claimed they felt something grabbing their steering wheel when they drove by, pulling them to their deaths. Others claimed to actually see spirits, which caused them to swerve and crash. This, combined with the gaudy little love hotel nearby, made for an area ripe with rumours that's still spoken of today. Is, or was, Hotel Endless 2 actually haunted because of the numerous deaths that took place outside its walls? Well, that depends on whether you believe in spirits or not in the first place. But the mystery behind its closure and the fact it still stands today has left an impression on many that won't soon be forgotten. But what did you guys think about this one? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.